hidden among verdant valleys and rolling hills, in a continent that safeguards ancient traditions and has nurtured marvelous civilizations, lie gems of rare and authentic beauty. Europe, a land of legends and traditions, reveals itself as a treasure trove of architectural and natural wonders. For centuries, travelers from every corner of the globe have been drawn by its irresistible allure. Cobblestone alleys, picturesque squares, hilltop castles, and breathtaking vistas. Europe is a living fairy tale book, telling stories of a glorious past at every turn. In this video, we'll explore 50 of the most beautiful villages on this continent, uncovering its authentic soul. Welcome to Europe. From ancient medieval villages to charming coastal towns, each stop on our journey will be a dive into European magic and authenticity. Though it's a small portion of the world, Europe is a treasure of cultural and landscape diversity, with thousands of villages attracting millions of visitors each year, captivated by their authenticity and beauty. For this reason, discovering all the hidden gems of this continent can be a challenge, or even just deciding which ones are worth a visit. In this second episode, we'll take you on a journey to discover 50 more villages that, in our opinion, represent some of the most precious pearls of European heritage. For those who missed the first episode, you can find it in the link in the description. Let's begin. Saint-Paul-de-Vence, France. Perched on a hill in the French Riviera, this medieval village is a sanctuary of art and beauty. Its narrow, cobbled streets, dotted with art galleries and studios, have inspired artists of the caliber of Chagall and Picasso. Every corner is a living painting, with bougainvillea climbing ancient walls and hidden squares with centuries-old fountains. The village's restaurants offer refined cuisine that blends Provençal tradition with innovation, delighting the most discerning palates with authentic flavors and artistic presentations. At sunset, the stone walls are bathed in golden light, offering a magical view of the surrounding countryside and the distant Mediterranean in a perfect blend of culture, history, and nature. Grindelwald, Switzerland. Nestled in the heart of the Bernese Alps, this Swiss village is a paradise for nature and adventure lovers. Dominated by the imposing trio of Eiger, Mönch, and Jungfrau, the village offers breathtaking alpine panoramas in every season. In winter, snow-covered slopes attract skiers from around the world, while summer transforms the hillsides into a green carpet of hiking trails. The village itself, with its traditional wooden chalets and flower-adorned balconies, embodies the essence of an alpine idyll, offering a welcoming and picturesque atmosphere throughout the year. Here, time seems to slow down, allowing visitors to immerse themselves in alpine peace and rediscover their connection with the majestic nature that surrounds them. Pals, Spain. Hidden on a hill in the Catalan Empordà, it's a perfectly preserved medieval bastion that dominates the plain to the Mediterranean. Its golden stone walls enclose a labyrinth of stone alleys, Gothic arches, and hidden squares. The Torre de las Horas, the only remnant of the castle, stands proud, offering a panoramic view that spans from the Pyrenees to the Medes Islands. The stone houses, many of which date back to the 15th and 16th centuries, have been carefully restored, preserving their historical charm and offering an authentic glimpse into medieval Catalan life. Moreover, while strolling through the center, visitors can admire flower-adorned balconies, artisan workshops, and small cafes tucked away in the most picturesque corners of this medieval gem. Monsanto, Portugal. Perched among giant granite boulders, this Portuguese village defies the laws of physics and imagination. Houses wedged between and under enormous boulders seem to merge with the rock itself, creating a surreal landscape that looks like it's straight out of a fantastic tale. Labyrinthine streets wind among these unique dwellings, each with a 1,000-year history to tell. From the top of the village, dominated by the remains of a Templar castle, the view spans a sea of oak and olive trees, stretching to the Spanish border. Monsanto is not just an architectural marvel, but a journey through time where ancient traditions and the power of nature blend in perfect, untouched harmony. Parga, Greece. Located in a bay of Greek Epirus, Parga is a natural amphitheater of colorful houses reflected in the Ionian Sea. The Venetian castle, perched on the hill, watches over the town and offers magnificent views of the surrounding islands. Its winding streets, dotted with taverns and craft shops, descend towards the characteristic port, where fishing boats mingle with modern yachts. Its white pebble beaches, such as Valtos and Lichnos, invite days of relaxation under the Greek sun, while the hinterland, rich in olive groves and freshwater springs, offers excursions into unspoiled nature. The lively nightlife, with its waterfront bars and traditional taverns, completes the experience of this corner of Greek paradise, where sea, mountains, and history blend in perfect harmony. Dinant, Belgium. This distinctive Walloon town nestles along the banks of the Meuse River, wedged between steep limestone cliffs. Dominated by the citadel, an 11th century fortress accessible by cable car, Dinant offers beautiful panoramas of the valley. The Gothic Notre Dame Church, with its characteristic bulb-shaped bell tower, is reflected in the river's waters. Dinant is famous as the birthplace of Adolphe Sax, inventor of the saxophone, and this connection is celebrated with colorful saxophone sculptures scattered throughout the town. The local beer production and typical pastries undoubtedly enrich the culinary experience for tourists. Bacharach, Germany. Situated along the winding banks of the Rhine, Bacharach epitomizes the enchantment of the German Renaissance with its picturesque half-timbered houses. It's a place where time seems to slow down, allowing every moment to be savored, whether you're exploring narrow alleys or tasting a glass of the renowned local wine. The charm of Bacharach is palpable, especially during the golden hours of sunset, when the last sunlight caresses the facades of historic homes. For history buffs, a visit to the Gothic St. Peter's Church offers a dive into the past, while wine enthusiasts will love the local cellars offering tastings of wines produced in the surrounding vineyards. Pienza, Italy. Conceived as the ideal city of the Renaissance, Pienza is the result of a visionary dream by Pope Pius II, who in the 15th century sought to transform his humble native village into an exemplar of perfect urban harmony. The architect Bernardo Rossellino was commissioned to design the new city, following the humanistic principles of the Renaissance, thereby creating a masterpiece of beauty and proportion. The heart of Pienza is its main square, surrounded by emblematic buildings such as the Duomo, Palazzo Piccolomini, and the Town Hall, which together form an architectural ensemble of extraordinary elegance. The streets are an intricate maze of stone alleys, offering romantic glimpses and inviting exploration of the numerous artisan shops. Here, one can purchase local products, such as the famous Pienza pecorino, a cheese with a unique flavor that bears witness to the region's ancient dairy traditions. Rocamadour, France. Clinging to the face of a gorge, this French medieval village defies gravity and imagination. Its houses and chapels seem to merge with the rock, creating an image as surreal as it is magnificent. It's not just an architectural marvel, but also an important pilgrimage site. Tourists find themselves climbing 216 steps to the sanctuary, a journey that challenges the body and elevates the spirit. The beating heart of the village, with its narrow paved streets and small squares, offers an authentic glimpse into medieval French life. Here, history and legend intertwine, whispering tales of knights and miracles to those who have ears to listen. The mystical atmosphere permeates every corner, offering an experience that transcends time and nourishes the soul. Rovinj, Croatia. On the western coast of Istria, Rovinj rises like a living painting. The rocky peninsula, once an island, hosts a labyrinth of cobbled streets that climb towards the sky. Pastel-colored stone houses huddle together, creating a unique architectural harmony. At the top of the hill, St. Euphemia's Church dominates the skyline, and its bell tower, inspired by St. Mark's in Venice, watches over the town and the sea. The harbor, with its colorful fishing boats, also tells the story of a community deeply connected to the sea. Indeed, Venetian influence can be felt everywhere, from Gothic biforas to winged lions carved on buildings. York, England. York embodies the essence of English medieval history with its imposing walls, which still encircle the historic center today. The heart of the city is the majestic York Minster, one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Northern Europe, whose stained glass windows and soaring arches are a triumph of art and architecture. The medieval atmosphere is palpable as you stroll along the Shambles, one of the best preserved medieval streets in Europe, now bustling with craft shops and cafes. The city is also a hub of cultural activities, with numerous festivals celebrating everything from ancient music to literature. York is not just a dive into history, but a dynamic and engaging experience that captivates visitors of all ages. Carcassonne, France. A medieval city in the heart of the Languedoc region in southern France, Carcassonne is famous for being one of the best preserved fortresses in Europe. Surrounded by double fortified walls stretching nearly 3 kilometers, the city presents an impressive silhouette of towers and battlements that vividly evoke the medieval era. The oldest part, the Cité de Carcassonne, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that draws visitors with its extraordinary defensive structures and historical atmosphere. Inside its fortified gates, narrow, winding streets are lined with artisan shops and restaurants serving local cuisine. The heart of Carcassonne is the Château Comtal, a castle at the city's center, offering a dive into history with tours of historic halls and ancient walls, from which panoramic views of the surrounding countryside can be enjoyed. Matera, Italy. carved into the limestone rock of Basilicata. It's a miracle of human ingenuity and primordial beauty. Its sassi, ancient cave dwellings carved directly into the rock, create a unique urban landscape that has been chosen as a set for numerous biblical films. The rock churches, with their centuries-old frescoes, bear witness to a deep faith and ancient history. In the evening, Matera transforms into a living nativity scene, with thousands of lights dotting the city like stars fallen from the sky. Getting lost in its alleys is an emotional journey, where silence is broken only by the tolling of bells and the whisper of wind through the caves. Azenhas do Mar, Portugal. Clinging to an Atlantic cliff, this Portuguese village seems to defy gravity. Its white houses, cascading towards the sea, create a unique visual spectacle, as if an artist had painted them on the rock. The name, which means watermills of the sea, recalls the ancient use of wave energy to grind wheat. Today, however, the village is a peaceful refuge, where the roar of the ocean provides the soundtrack to days of tranquility. The small beach nestled among the rocks is a hidden gem, while the natural pool offers a calm swim, caressed by the sea breeze. The narrow paths winding between houses offer breathtaking views of the ocean, inviting tourists to lose themselves in the maze of alleys and stairs that characterize this charming coastal village. Yvoire, France. Located on the French shore of Lake Geneva, Yvoire is another perfect example of a medieval village, known for its unmistakable charm and centuries-old history. With its fortified walls and watchtowers dating back to the 14th century, Yvoire invites you to explore its rich past. The Garden of Five Senses, inspired by medieval gardens, is a must-visit attraction that offers a sensory journey through mazes of aromatic plants and colorful flowers. The village's location also offers characteristic views of the lake and surrounding mountains, creating a perfect balance between nature and historical heritage. Yvoire is indeed an ideal place for those wishing to immerse themselves in tranquility and beauty, while discovering the art and culture of a bygone era. Rye, England. A medieval jewel of Sussex, it's a maze of cobbled streets and half-timbered houses that seem to have stepped out of a fairy tale book. Once surrounded by the sea, today it stands on a hill, as if guarding centuries of history. Mermaid Street, with its tilting historic houses and curious names, captures the imagination of every visitor. St. Mary's Church Tower offers a panoramic view of the red roofs and surrounding countryside, all the way to the distant sea. Rye is not just a step back in time. Its art galleries, craft shops, and welcoming pubs make it a vibrant and pulsating place. Moreover, the scent of fresh fish and the aroma of afternoon tea mingle in the air, creating a unique atmosphere that enchants and transports visitors to an ancient England. Deia, Spain. Nestled between the Tramontana Mountains and the Mediterranean Sea, this Spanish village is a paradise for artists and dreamers. Its ochre-colored houses, with green shutters and blooming bougainvillea, create a picture of rare beauty that has inspired poets and painters for generations. The Church of San Juan Bautista, with its sea-facing cemetery, offers a beautiful view of the rugged coastline. Deia is not just aesthetics, but also a place where culture pulses in art galleries, impromptu concerts, and lively conversations in outdoor cafes. The small cove, accessible through a panoramic path, is a hidden gem, where crystal-clear waters invite a refreshing swim. As evening falls, lights come on, and jazz music wafts from the terraces, revealing the village's bohemian soul. Monsaraz, Portugal. Monsaraz is one of Portugal's best-preserved medieval gems, suspended in time above the Guadiana River Valley. This ancient fortified village, with its stone walls and cobbled streets, offers a stunning panoramic view over the Alentejo Plains and the nearby Alcueva Lake. Its medieval architecture is palpable at every corner, from the city gates to the Church of Santa Maria da Lagoa, which houses frescoes and sacred art of rare beauty. The castle, dominating the landscape, is the perfect spot to savor the sunset, with its colors painting the ancient bricks of the city in gold and orange. History and culture enthusiasts will surely find a peaceful refuge here, far from the hustle and bustle of big cities, where local traditions such as textile and pottery production are still alive. Lindos, Greece. Nestled in a bay of turquoise waters, this Greek town is a triumph of history and beauty. Its white houses climb up the hill, culminating in the imposing Acropolis, a silent sentinel that has watched over the Aegean Sea for millennia. The winding streets, too narrow for cars, invite you to get lost among boutiques, taverns, and flower-filled courtyards. St. Paul's Beach, framed by cliffs, offers a refuge of golden sand and clear waters. Here, past and present blend in a timeless embrace, giving visitors the very essence of Greece: blinding light, endless sea, and a hospitality that warms the heart. Lech, Austria. Nestled among the majestic Austrian Alps, it's an alpine paradise that combines discreet luxury and unspoiled nature. In winter, its impeccable slopes attract skiers from all over the world, while summer transforms the village into an oasis of tranquility for tourists and mountain lovers. The village center, with its stone streets and Tyrolean-style buildings, offers a welcoming and refined atmosphere where alpine tradition and modernity coexist. The Lech River, which gives the village its name, flows placidly, creating a relaxing backdrop for walks among flower-bedecked chalets and elegant boutiques. At twilight, when the lights come on and the mountains turn pink, Lech transforms into a living painting, where natural beauty merges with modern comfort in a perfect embrace. Ostuni, Italy. Known as the White City for its white lime-painted houses that shine under the Apulian sun, Ostuni is a gem of the Istria Valley. This medieval village stands on 3 hills, offering marvelous views over ancient olive groves. Its narrow, maze-like streets lead to hidden squares and alleys enriched by artisan shops, elegant bars, and restaurants serving local delicacies. The cathedral, with its Gothic facade and elaborate rose window, dominates the urban landscape, while the vibrant atmosphere of the village, combined with its historical and cultural wealth, makes it a must-visit destination in southern Italy. Bruges, Belgium. Bruges is often described as the Venice of the North, thanks to its idyllic canals and well-preserved stone streets that evoke the medieval era. This fairy tale city is famous for its market square, dominated by the Belfry of Bruges, towering at 83 meters. Chocolate lovers will find a haven here, with numerous chocolatiers offering artisanal delights. A walk along the canals at sunset or a boat cruise can transform a simple sightseeing tour into a memorable experience, offering a unique perspective on the well-preserved medieval houses and historic towers that define the cityscape. Portofino, Italy. Nestled in the splendid Ligurian Riviera, Portofino is a small fishing village that has become synonymous with elegance and exclusive living. The pastel-colored houses overlooking the small harbor create a magical atmosphere, especially at sunset when the lights reflect on the water. The village is also famous for its luxury boutiques and gourmet restaurants, as well as the trails that offer panoramic hikes along the sea and through the natural park. The Piazzetta, the heart of the village, is the ideal place to enjoy an aperitif and observe daily life around the harbor. St. Wolfgang, Austria. Nestled on the shores of Lake Wolfgangsee, This Austrian village is a picture of painted houses, clear waters, and majestic mountains. The Gothic pilgrimage church, with its intricately carved altar, is the spiritual heart of the village, attracting faithful and art lovers for centuries. The pedestrian streets, dotted with craft shops and traditional cafes, invite relaxing strolls. The lake offers endless leisure possibilities, from scenic cruises to swimming in its pure waters. Moreover, the steam cog railway that climbs to the Schafberg offers a magnificent view of a postcard-perfect alpine panorama. St. Wolfgang is not just a place of natural beauty, but an experience that nourishes the soul, where alpine traditions blend with warm hospitality, creating unforgettable memories in every season. Leuven, Belgium. A university city par excellence, it combines a rich historical heritage with a young and vibrant atmosphere. The Gothic Town Hall, considered one of the most beautiful in Europe, is a masterpiece of flamboyant architecture. The university, founded in 1425, gives the city a palpable intellectual energy, with historic buildings like the University Library blending harmoniously with modern structures. Leuven is also the cradle of Stella Artois beer, and its brewing tradition is reflected in the numerous pubs and craft breweries. The Groot Begenhof, a well-preserved 13th century district, offers an oasis of tranquility with its red brick houses and cobblestone streets. Schwerin, Germany. Capital of Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania, it's best known for its fairy tale castle, situated on an island in the city's lake. This building, blending Renaissance and Neo-Renaissance styles, dominates the urban landscape and houses the regional parliament. The city, surrounded by lakes and forests, offers a tranquil and romantic atmosphere. The historic center, with its half-timbered houses and Gothic cathedral, reflects the city's rich history. The surrounding natural park, on the other hand, offers ample opportunities for walks and outdoor activities. Less known than other German cities, Schwerin undoubtedly represents a hidden European gem, combining history, nature, and architecture in a unique setting. Conques, France. Located along the Dordogne River in the heart of Aveyron, Conques is a village of rare beauty, famous for its Abbey of Sainte-Foy, a marvel of Romanesque architecture. This historical site is a crucial stop for pilgrims on the Way of St. James and is renowned for its beautifully carved tympanum and the treasure it holds, containing relics and precious objects of sacred art. Walking through the streets of Conques is like taking a journey back in time, with medieval houses and narrow lanes offering rustic glimpses at every turn. The serenity and historic charm of Conques make it an ideal place for those looking to escape the hustle and bustle of modern life and immerse themselves in a bygone era. Marvão, Portugal. Perched on a granite peak in the Alentejo, it dominates the surrounding landscape. Its intact walls, which embrace a maze of stone streets and whitewashed houses, offer one of the most spectacular views in Portugal. Here, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafts through the air, while the medieval castle, the highest point of the village, offers an idyllic panorama that stretches to Spain. Marvão is certainly steeped in history, but it's also a living place, where Alentejo traditions are manifested in the authentic flavors of local cuisine and precious craftsmanship. Frigiliana, Spain. Among the mountains of Andalusia, this Pueblo Blanco is a labyrinth of narrow alleys and whitewashed houses that climb the hill like a living nativity scene. Every corner of the village tells a story, from the mosaics that narrate the Moorish rebellion to the colorful doors decorated with geranium pots. The pedestrian heart of the village invites you to get lost among steep staircases and hidden squares, where the scent of jasmine mingles with the aroma of local sweet wine. Moreover, from the Mirador de la Cruz, the view stretches to the Mediterranean, creating a unique contrast between the white of the village and the blue of the sea. It's certainly a place where the art of slow living manifests itself in outdoor cafes and artisan shops, offering an authentic taste of the Andalusian soul. Capri, Italy. The island of Capri is an Italian jewel, nestled in the heart of the Tyrrhenian Sea, famous for its stunning landscapes, crystal-clear waters, and sea caves, the most famous of which is undoubtedly the Blue Grotto. Tourists are drawn here by the natural beauty and the refined luxury of its boutiques and restaurants. The center of Capri, with the famous Piazzetta, is the perfect spot to enjoy a coffee while watching the hustly and bustly. Moreover, walking along the island's trails offers uniquely rare views, with the chance to discover hidden corners and picturesque vistas. Parast, Montenegro. Nestled on the Bay of Kotor in Montenegro, Parast is a Baroque gem that seems to float on the water. Its elegant Venetian villas line up along a single seafront street, creating a rare architectural harmony. The bell tower of St. Nicholas Church dominates the skyline, offering a spectacular view of the bay. But the true enchantment of this village are the two offshore islands, St. George Island and the man-made Our Lady of the Rocks, each with its own church and legend. The slow rhythm of daily life, interrupted only by the sound of bells and the slow passage of boats, transports tourists to a past era of Venetian sailors and merchants. At twilight, when the lights reflect on the calm waters of the bay, it transforms into a living painting, a place where time seems to have stopped in an eternal summer afternoon. Monemvasia, Greece. Nicknamed the Gibraltar of Greece, this medieval fortress city rises on a rocky islet connected to the Peloponnese by a thin strip of land. Hidden from view from the sea, it reveals itself only at the last moment, surprising with its austere beauty. Its narrow cobbled streets, free from cars, wind between stone houses and Byzantine churches, leading to the upper town, where the ruins of a fortress offer a romantic view of the Aegean Sea. Here, cats doze in the shade of lush bougainvillea, while the scent of aromatic herbs and the sound of bells fill the air. Moreover, local wine production, particularly the renowned Malvasia, offers tourists the opportunity to taste unique flavors, the fruit of a 1,000-year-old winemaking tradition that has its roots in history. Morcote, Switzerland. Morcote, situated on the shores of Lake Lugano, is a small Swiss village of extraordinary beauty. Its narrow stone streets, ancient houses, and flower-filled gardens create an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. The Church of Santa Maria del Sasso, with its panoramic position and frescoed interiors, is a major attraction, offering spectacular views of the lake and surrounding mountains. Scherer Park, with its statues, temples, and exotic gardens, offers a pleasant walk through nature and art, representing a paradise for green lovers. Finally, the lakeside restaurant terraces offer spectacular views and typical Ticino cuisine, completing a unique and enchanting experience on the shores of the Alpine Lake. Sirmione, Italy. This spa town, located on a narrow peninsula jutting into Lake Garda, is one of the most popular destinations in the area. Sirmione is famous for its mineral-rich thermal waters, which have attracted visitors since Roman times, as evidenced by the ruins of the Grand Villa of Catullus, located at the tip of the peninsula. The Scaligero Castle, with its towers and crenellated walls, offers a spectacular view of the lake. In addition to the thermal baths, the village is also a vibrant cultural spot, with boutiques, artisanal gelaterias, and cafes that animate the streets of the historic center. Piran, Slovenia. A jewel of the Slovenian coast, it juts out into the Adriatic Sea like a peninsula of stone and history. Its narrow Venetian-style streets wind between pastel-colored houses, leading to Tartini Square, the beating heart of the city. Here, the imposing statue of the eponymous violinist watches over a stage of equally Venetian architecture. The promenade, dotted with cafes and restaurants, offers a relaxing walk with soothing views of the Adriatic, where fishing boats mingle with modern yachts. Finally, the bell tower of St. George's Church, a miniature replica of St. Mark's in Venice, dominates the skyline. Castellfollit de la Roca, Spain. Clinging to the edge of a basalt cliff, this tiny Catalan village defies gravity. Its dark stone houses seem to merge with the volcanic rock, creating a unique profile that stands out against the blue sky. Just a kilometer long and 50 meters wide, this village is a miracle of architecture and nature. Its narrow streets, some barely a meter wide, offer dizzying views of the valley below and the Fluvia and Torinel rivers that surround it. The Church of San Salvador, with its bell tower that seems to emerge directly from the rock, is the focal point of the village. Despite its small size, Castellfollit bustles with life, with bars and restaurants offering authentic Catalan cuisine. Aubernay, France. Nestled among Alsatian vineyards, it's a medieval jewel that enchants with its colorful half-timbered houses and stone streets. The market square, the beating heart of the town, is a triumph of Renaissance architecture, surrounded by richly decorated historic buildings. The town hall's bell tower offers a panoramic view of the sloping roofs and surrounding hills, dotted with vineyards. But Aubernay is not just a feast for the eyes, it's a complete sensory experience. During the Christmas season, the town transforms into a true wonderland, with a market that fills the squares with lights and the scents of mulled wine and gingerbread. Festive decorations adorn the facades of the half-timbered houses, creating a magical atmosphere that seems to have stepped out of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. Hvar, Croatia. Pearl of Dalmatia, Hvar enchants with its sunny beauty and vibrant energy. The island, blessed with over 2,800 hours of sunshine a year, is a paradise of crystal-clear beaches, lavender fields, and centuries-old vineyards. The beating heart is St. Stephen's Square, which opens like a white stone stage, dominated by the imposing Renaissance cathedral. Cobbled alleys climb up the hill, revealing characteristic views and panoramic terraces. The Spanish fortress, on the other hand, offers spectacular views of the Paclini archipelago. At sunset, the island transforms. Waterfront cafes come alive, the air fills with music, and nightlife begins, making Hvar a beloved destination for travelers of all ages. Polperro, England. Nestled in a deep inlet on the Cornish coast, it's a fishing village that seems to come out of an adventure novel. Its tiny white houses huddle together, creating a maze of alleys so narrow they're inaccessible to cars. The small harbor, protected by two stone piers, is the beating heart of the village, where colorful boats bob placidly on the water. Polperro's history is woven with tales of smugglers and pirates, a turbulent past that can be felt today in the village museum. Moreover, the steep hills surrounding the village offer panoramic walks, with views that span the English Channel and recall the essence of the most authentic Cornwall. Gard, France. Nestled in the heart of Provence, perched on a steep hill, Gard presents itself as an enchanted vision with its limestone houses shimmering under the Mediterranean sun. This village is renowned not just for its panoramic views over the Luberon Valley, but also for its narrow streets winding among historic buildings and welcoming bars. Gard is rich in culture and art, hosting several museums and galleries, in addition to historic landmarks like the Renaissance castle that dominates the landscape. The spiritual atmosphere is also palpable at the nearby Senanc Abbey, an active Cistercian abbey surrounded by lavender fields. Orvieto, Italy. Orvieto, situated on an imposing tough cliff in the heart of Umbria, is a village known for its extraordinary cathedral, one of the masterpieces of Gothic architecture in Italy. The facade, adorned with sparkling mosaics and elaborate sculptures, welcomes visitors into a world of art and history. Beyond the cathedral, Orvieto offers underground labyrinths, dug during the Etruscan era, a fascinating adventure to discover cisterns, wells, and hidden caves. Another attraction are the streets of the historic center, a succession of artisan shops, wine bars, and restaurants, where you can savor typical Umbrian products, such as Orvieto DOC wine. Tavira, Portugal. Nestled on the banks of the Gilão River, it's the hidden pearl of the Portuguese Algarve. Its historic center, a mosaic of Moorish, Gothic, and Renaissance architecture, is crossed by a seven-arched Roman bridge. The city's 37 churches tell centuries of devotion and history, while the scissor-shaped roofs, typical of the region, create a unique urban landscape. Along the banks of the river, a series of cozy little restaurants and open-air bars invite you to savor local cuisine and sip fresh wine, while admiring the slow flow of the water and the passing of fishing boats. But Tavira's real treasure is a golden sand island reachable by a short boat ride, where the waters of the Atlantic invite relaxation. Cadaqués, Spain. Positioned on the shores of Catalonia, Cadaqués is a harbor that has historically attracted artists like Salvador Dalí, who found inspiration in its maritime landscapes and picturesque architecture. With its narrow, winding streets, white-painted houses with blue accents, and an art scene that is still palpable, Cadaqués is an escape from the daily chaos, offering tranquility and inspiration. Its isolated location on Cap de Creus makes it an ideal place for those seeking peace, with secluded beaches and sea views that change color at sunset, offering moments of pure natural beauty and serenity. Kazimierz Dolny, Poland. On the banks of the Vistula, this Polish Renaissance jewel is a paradise for artists and history lovers. Its characteristic squares, surrounded by richly decorated bourgeois houses, tell centuries of mercantile prosperity. The medieval castle and defensive tower, which dominate the landscape, offer a pleasant view of the river valley and surrounding hills. The town is still a lively place, where contemporary art dialogues with historical architecture in galleries and festivals. Finally, the paths that wind through the surrounding ravines offer suggestive walks, while the market in the main square bustles with life, colors, and traditional flavors. Goslar, Germany. Nestled in the heart of the Harz Mountains, Goslar offers a journey back in time with its distinctive historic center and majestic imperial palace. Once a seat of emperors and rulers, this city is now a treasure trove of medieval houses and Romanesque architecture. Its cobblestone streets lead to lively squares, where markets and cafes blend with ancient buildings, boasting spires and ornate facades. A visit to the nearby Rummelsberg mines is also a must, offering a unique glimpse into the region's long mining history, also recognized by UNESCO. Clovelly, England. Clinging to a steep cliff in Devon, this English village seems suspended in time. A single stone street, too steep for cars, winds between white houses with slate roofs, descending towards a small harbor where fishing boats bob placidly. Visitors climb the hill on donkey-drawn sleds, a custom that has endured for centuries. Every corner of this village knows how to excite and surprise, from flowering gardens to ancient inns, where it feels like being in a bygone era. From the top of the village, the gaze spans the endless sea, offering an immense view that nourishes the soul with its simple beauty. Tarifa, Spain. The southernmost point of continental Europe, this Andalusian town is a crossroads of cultures where Europe and Africa gaze at each other. Its endless beaches, caressed by constant winds, are a paradise for surfers and kite surfers from around the world. The historic center, with its medieval walls and winding streets, tells centuries of Moorish and Christian history. At sunset, the beach cafes come alive, offering a unique spectacle as the sun dips into the sea with Africa on the horizon. Tarifa is not just about sports and history, but a place where the energy of wind and sea blend with the warmth of Andalusian hospitality, creating a unique and unforgettable atmosphere. Plockton, Scotland. Nestled on the shores of a Scottish fjord, this small highland village is an unexpected corner of paradise. Known as the Palm Tree Village, thanks to its mild microclimate that allows these tropical plants to grow at improbable latitudes, Plockton seems painted by a romantic artist. Its colorful cottages are reflected in the calm waters of Loch Carron, while in the background, the Scottish mountains create a dramatic backdrop. Here, time flows slowly to the rhythm of the tides. Fishermen return with their catch, supplying local restaurants with the freshest seafood. Boat trips to spot seals or walks along the coast offer intimate contact with wild and unspoiled nature, giving visitors an unparalleled experience of peace and beauty. Cassis, France. Nestled between limestone cliffs and terraced vineyards, this Provençal village is a jewel of the French Riviera, far from ostentatious glamour. Its characteristic port, protected by ancient fortifications, is a living painting of colorful boats and outdoor cafes. The famous calanques, miniature fjords with turquoise waters, are a paradise for hikers and sea lovers, offering romantic landscapes and hidden bays, accessible only by sea or rugged trails. Its historic center, a maze of alleys and shaded squares, hides architectural treasures and artisan shops, while the centuries-old wine tradition is expressed in renowned white wines, perfect for tasting at sunset in a beach bar. Cassis is an authentic place where the calm Provençal life can be felt at every corner. Volendam, Netherlands. Volendam, a rural fishing village on the Dutch coast, preserves an atmosphere from another time, with its traditional houses and colorful boats docked along the harbor. Famous for its folkloric costumes, often proudly worn by locals during festivals and events, it is an icon of Dutch culture. Tourists can explore the small but charming village museum, which tells the story of fishing, traditional clothing, and folk music, a vital element of Volendam's heritage. The village is also known for the paling sound, a particular musical genre that originated here in the 1960s, characterized by Dutch pop melodies that gave rise to several popular bands in the Netherlands.